I just, in my head, I was just like, you're tired, but don't stop. Just keep going. My name is Sharlett Patterson. I am a certified pharmacy technician at the PTCB board and the pharmacy manager at Hy-Vee. The most rewarding thing about it, I would say, is getting to help patients get what they need. My grandmother was a diabetic from the time she was 2, so I think that's kind of fueled my passion for helping patients because I saw a lot of what she went through.
My name is Tim Goodhall. I'm a pharmacy supervisor for the central area for Hy-Vee. She's a technician at our Valley West Drive location, and she's always been sort of a little bit more unique in that she is also the pharmacy manager at this particular location, which isn't super common for a technician to take on that role.
I started doing immunizations originally for COVID, and at that time, when you get certified to immunize, in case there's a medical emergency, you have to get certified to do CPR as well. The process itself is pretty simple. You know, you go in for a class, they run you through each of the different steps of different types of CPR, whether it's a child or an adult, or whether you're giving, full compressions or just the Heimlich, whatever you need to do to administer to help somebody. It's a simple process to go through in theory, and then when you're faced with it, it's kind of world-turning. It was a pretty typical day. I was standing at my computer, typing up scripts, helping patients, and I recall seeing a woman come up to the counter, and she kind of looked a little distressed, and she asked if we had an AED machine. And so I went up to her and I asked what was going on, and she said, well, there's a gentleman and he's struggling to breathe. So I ran to the front of the store, grabbed the AED, and then ran to the very back of the store with it to the dairy section, came around the corner, and he was on the ground. People were just standing around not really knowing what to do, so I asked them to stand back. I assessed his breath. He didn't have breath. I didn't find a pulse when I tried to assess that, so I knew start compressions and get someone to call 911. And a gentleman who was in the store, and I don't even know who he was, but he's my hero from that day because he came to help me. And he helped take over, trade off, get the pads on. The AED was assessing, and it said shock recommended. So I knew we at least had a pulse going at that point to try and regulate. So you have that moment of what I'm doing is making a difference. Like, don't stop. I did freeze for a second and think, oh gosh, what do I do? And then it just kind of set in, and it went, follow your training. Do what you need to do. Get the scene secured. Get him breathing. If I can just buy him the time it takes to get them here and get him somewhere where they can really take care of him, then maybe he's got a chance. Right about that moment, he took a breath. And I just felt this overwhelming sense of relief run through me that we're making progress. We're doing something that's bringing him back.
That means she was doing CPR for like 6 minutes. And then she went through, and the EMTs arrived, and he had a pulse by the time he left.
And I heard the heartbeat, and they were getting him up on the gurney, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's got a heartbeat. He's gonna get to the hospital. And that was just what I clung to. I don't know 100% of what happened after that. I do know that he had emergency surgery, I believe, to put a stent in. About a month or so, maybe 2 after, his mom came back into the store to see me. And she told me, I'll always have a place in my heart for you, which tears were coming at that point. She's like, I don't want to sound weird, but I want you to know that I love you. And that really touched me.
There's not a lot of people would jump into that kind of a situation, willingly. When something like that happens, it's natural. Everybody comes back to the pharmacy. She didn't hesitate. It just went right at it, and that I think is remarkable.